back, market makers. Okay, so this right here is my the third draft of the MM gold system. Okay, the market makers gold system. I've been working on this for a long time. All that's left to do now is just crossing T's and dotting I's. Okay, now this ebook right here is almost 40,000 words. Okay, almost 40,000 words and 108 pages of information. It is not an ebook, it is a whole thesis on my experience trading gold. Okay, my complete guide in trading XAUUSD like an institution. Okay, so there are different topics that I'll be covering in this ebook. Okay, look at all the information that I have produced for everyone. Okay, now before I get into some concepts that I'll be covering in this course, I would first like to explain what this is. Okay, now what I plan to do is I'll be giving this away for free. Okay, for absolutely free for anyone in the world. Okay, you'll be getting this ebook and you can learn off of this ebook. Okay, I believe information should be given out for free, and all the effort that I've been putting these past months is here. Okay, I'll be giving this away for free so that all of you guys have access to this information. And with this ebook is what you should study coming in to the 3-day webinar. I'll be hosting a 3-day webinar for me to teach my exact system to everyone. Okay, so I'll be hosting a 3-day webinar, and on top of that, you'll be in the Market Maker Mentorship ecosystem, where you'll get a complete video course teaching everything from basics all the way to advanced modules. Okay, now with this video course, it is something you guys can refer to when I'm not hosting webinars, and and of course the webinars will also be recorded, so you guys can refer back to the webinars if you guys do not understand any concepts that I covered. Okay, so with that said, let's quickly dive into the table of contents about what this whole course will be about. Okay, of course we will start off with chapter 0, your mindset coming into this course, your mindset when trading gold, your mindset every day when you launch the charts and you try to pin a bias or attempt a POI or even executing a trade. So I'll cover the mindset first, because to me, I believe that everybody starts off somewhere. Okay, everybody starts off differently. Some of you might start with a $10,000 account and some of you might start with a $100 account. It is completely up to you, but mindset is where I'm able to pull everyone here into the same starting point and a same base layer to start off of. Okay, so of course we will start with mindset, and then we will continue with understanding gold, understanding the asset that we are trading, what drives gold, what the type of movement that gold produces. Of course, geopolitical factors, economic, macro factors that drives this asset class that we'll be trading. Okay, of course we will cover market structure. Okay, price action. We'll cover my core concepts and the concepts I use and the rules behind these concepts, which might differ from others. Okay, building your daily bias. Your bias is important. How do you stick to your bias? Whether your bias is correct or not will determine the result of the day that you're having. Okay, determining whether your bias is correct and whether to flip your bias or not sticking to a bias at all. Okay, of course we will then cover with how to use the 15-minute chart for decisions, how to use the 5-minute chart for confirmation, how to use the 1-minute chart for your execution. And after those topics is where everything gets much more heavier, much more advanced. Liquidity will be a big part in our concept. Okay, understanding liquidity, understanding how it's engineered, understanding how it is manipulated, and understanding how through this manipulation you would see proper movement, displacement in the market. displacement in the market. Okay, we will then cover breaker blocks as well, how I use breaker blocks, when this is how we identify failures in the market, and how we are able to capitalize on the failures of others so that it becomes opportunity for us. Okay, we'll also cover sessions and time of day. Okay, when do I trade? When is the highest amount of volume? Like earlier when we caught that 200 pip London volume trade. Okay, so when probability is highest for us. Okay, so catching those high probability wins, aligning ourselves with the time of day, aligning ourselves with the session. Okay, of course we will cover a little bit of macro events, so what affects gold, driving gold. Okay, macroeconomic events, news. Okay, we will drive news or short-term trend of gold, trading news that affects the short-term trend of gold, medium trend of gold, and higher time frame trend of gold. Okay, of course we will talk about trade management as well, how you manage your trades. Okay, very important, not only execution but also how we manage the trade long term. And then we will end everything off with a complete market maker system workflow, how you determine your bias, your checklist for determining your bias, your checklist for determining your POI, your checklist for determining your entries. Okay, so all of this will be covered in this ebook, also covered in our 3-day webinar, and also covered in a video course where I go over all of these concepts with everyone. Okay, so with that, please understand that it is taking a little bit longer than expected because we are putting in a lot of work into this system. We want to start, we want this system to launch right. Okay, we want this system to produce results for everyone. Okay, so of course this system right here will be free to everybody. We're releasing this information, this ebook, when I wouldn't say shortly, but relatively shortly in the next coming weeks. Okay, once the video course is produced, once the webinar has a date, I'll announce it to everybody. And lastly, I will announce a new wait list for everyone, because due to technical difficulties we lost the previous wait list, so there'll be a new wait list for everyone to sign up on. Okay, please track your please click the buttons to join the wait list, because of course the webinar teaching such a heavy system will take some time, and teaching it to many, let's say maybe teaching it to hundreds of people, is not very effective and not very possible, at least for me. Okay, so I'll keep the webinar small, at least the first webinar it will be kept small, but if results produce, maybe in the future we will run more webinars so that we can access more people. Okay, so with that, I hope all of you guys continue to have a profitable day ahead, and I'll see everybody inside Team Market Makers very shortly with this update. Okay, take care.